So hello everyone again. It's Aisha, one of Realtors Amongst You. I'm here today to share some tricks and tips that I've been using since I started working on the MLS as a realtor, and of course we learn it as we work on it, and experience makes a huge difference. But small things and shortcuts can help us a lot. So the first thing I'll start with is everybody can hear me, right?
Is the volume down?
I don't know if the volume is down. Not sure. Chat, let me see.
Somebody's talking. Go to them.
Okay, where's the volume?
We turned the volume up.
Okay, I'm not hearing any. No, I don't hear anything. I don't know if they can hear me or not.
Someone responded, yeah.
Somebody responded? Okay. Earlier, yeah, they responded earlier, but okay. So I guess let's start. If you cannot hear me or anything like that, feel free to add it to the chat group and see if we have. I know we have been having issues. I don't know if you guys can hear us. Okay. Well, let's just start here with the first thing. Starting with MLS, the most important thing I would go is couple of updates or a couple of things we need to check, as starting with our account first would be if you go up here under our name, accounts and setting. The most important thing that sometimes we overlook is our own information, to make sure it's all updated. The first one would be our contact information. Make sure that we have, of course, you can change your login in there too, which is, in case you want to do that. Your information all here is updated. It is very important. This is where everything, when we list or when we send an offer, our information is all up here so that anybody can look us up as well, and when agents are looking us up. So this is very crucial for us, as it also goes on our listing when we are listing or we are purchasing. So it's very important. You can edit here quickly, any changes you want, and always, as we do, make sure we save it, which is very important, and anything that we would like to update, it'll save up there. So that is the most crucial part, our contact information. Going back, another thing, oh my goodness, okay, let's see. Of course, our subscription, our details, your account check, everything can be done right up here. So a little bit of back-end information. Another thing that I would like to share with my experience that I've had working with an MLS is the MLS settings. So here, again, managing your information. Anything you want to add, more details, you can add your social media up here. It will be all linked in and makes life much, much easier. So this would be, to me, is very important. Sometimes we skip this and overlook it. When we sign up an account with Brian MLS, they just give us the basic and we have to go back in and, put that information. Headers, I don't know if you all are familiar with the headers and footers are very important. So any listing that you print, for instance, you're showing a property, your list of printing for them, your information will be on there. And you can do a lot with it, play with it, and, try to have uploaded different banners, have different options in there. Do check it out. And it took me a while to get this, to believe me or not, because I used to see it on agents, never had a chance with, with the listings, where I would pick up papers when we would go and view homes, and then I'm like, how do they do this? So this is where it is. But it's it keeps you in front of them, your pictures there, so they don't forget about you. So that's one thing I would like to share. You can also add cover page. You can have your details in the cover page when we prepare a CMA. This is very helpful. You can update your signatures here. If you want to change anything, have something added to it, it's all up here, and it is very helpful. It makes you stand out from other agents whenever we decide to, hand out the listing or, any presentation that includes CMA or that includes anything to do with Bright MLS. So very important. Here we are. Okay, so that's my apologies. Let's go back here. I'm gonna go back into one more thing that I wanted to share with you all again. Anything you want to change on the back end, accounts and setting would be the best place to go to. One more thing I wanted to share again with the MLS setting is notifications. So notifications, that what I've noticed, as we grow our business, we have multiple clients. So this would be a best place. For instance, we are sending, multiple, I have about like 20 people right now on auto email, or I'm sending them messages. So here, how do you want to connect with them? You can have the notification. So every time you have a client that you're working, for instance, they're taking their time looking. So every time they favorite a house, you're like, okay, that's what they're looking for, and you'll get text on it if you want to choose, email, however you want to, but you'll get notified as soon as they either click on it or they look it up. It's very helpful. I love when I get notifications. It depends. You can always change it, whatever works for you. Make sure you put your number here. I have it updated, but you put your number, the provider, and then you save. So basically, you click here. Very simple. You want to click on however you want to choose, anything you would like from there, and then just add your number there, the company you're with, and save it. So I'm not doing it at the moment. I added this morning. So every time you do any changes, make sure you save it. It's very helpful. I think this is one thing that kept me in front of a client that I was working with, and he took his time. But every time he would look, I wanted to reach out to him and say, hey, I know you looked at this property. What do you think? So it's very helpful. It's a good tool. Notification. I know we have multiple notifications from different apps we use, but this is this is the biggest tool we have to use as a realtor. So we are in front of our clients, and we are kind of following them on the back end to see what they're searching. I know this class is all about us learning about, Bright MLS. One thing about it is you can spend hours on it. You'll get to learn more and more every time you click on it. Like any other, anything we use, any platforms you use, the more you use it, the more you kind of play with it, the better you become at it, and you learn, So today with the MLS, with the CMA is what we're looking at. Very pretty simple when it comes to CMA. Every agent does it a different way. We have comparatively how I've seen it, how I started, and I was taught this by my amazing broker, to just not only depend on Bright MLS and see what is going on in the market, to check the market out. So my suggestion always it would be, or how I start with it, is use different platforms and see what's going on, depending on if you've met the client or not, the condition of the house. So you just have a little bit preview of the house and the area before you meet them. Couple of things, and generally to the public, this is for us as agents, but generally to a public, where do they go? They go to Zillow, they go to realtors.com and some other platforms, So I kind of compare that to, I look at a property there, what is Zillow saying, what is realtors.com saying? So it is more helpful because it connects more to the client, where you tell them, about, of course, they don't know about the Bright MLS. So it's a tool for us to use, but to get information from those, partners, websites, or the third party is also very helpful. So I look at that. The helpful in that part is, for instance, let's go ahead and let me just get this property for us. 16351. Kramer Estate. Let me see. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Let's go to Zillow first. Give me 1 second. I don't know what is going on here. It's me. 6351. Let's see what's going on with this one. Okay, so this property right here, you could check on Zillow and see, for instance, right here we go, that they'll give you a good close estimate. So we check Zillow and see what the property, what is their estimate, right? Just kind of give an idea. Then I'll give you 1 second. My apologies. Okay, here we go. So we look at Zillow, we look at Redfin, and to see what of course the estimates are all going to be different because this is just just the insight what the market is looking at the properties from these websites. So you can always have that information with you as well. Okay, my apologies. Where is? Let's go back to our. So this is very helpful to see the numbers up here. Kind of helps you out a lot as well. Back to our CMA where we actually pull information from here. We would first, the same address I'll use here as this property I'm a bit familiar with, or you guys will choose the property that you want to do a CMA on. So I start with it. You can do it in so many ways. You could use the map search for the mileage, for the area radius, and put the address here and see. Okay, one. Okay, here we go. We have the property pull up. Few things that I look into when I am, when I'm pulling a property up, of course, is coming soon, active, and here we are with pending and closed. This will give you how the market at that time was and the houses that closed. But at the same time, the best is, how market trend change, and we are in a change of market right now. So you can compare it not only to coming soon active, but the one that closed and the one that are pending too. So in this specific, property that this within half mile, because this property is a single family, so you can increase the radius here. You can decrease the radius, however you feel like you could do that. This is one way of doing a CMA. You can also use maps. I don't know if you all have had a chance to use map. I'll show you that one as well. But let's do, if you're doing using a radius here, how would it be? So let's look at you can always adjust, right? One of the adjustments is I know this property is fee simple, so click on that. This is a single family house, so detached. You know how the numbers dropped here? That's what we are looking for. So here we look at the result. So here we are now, this specific property. Another thing, my apologies, I should have started in the beginning, is, let me see. I'm so used to my little laptop, and this is a whole different way of doing things. So bear with me, my apologies. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's see if I could duplicate this, which is duplicate tab. Okay. So here we are, we duplicated our tab, and I am gonna go ahead and pull this property that I'm doing a research on the site as well. Pull their public, because it's going to be a property that I'll be visiting, and this is the first time, so I want to know all the information. How do we get information? My apologies, I'm maybe going too fast. So for the first time, we want to go ahead, once you take that property address from your client, or any, or you're doing a search for any property. So we'll go to our public records, very simple. Go ahead and put the address in. This way it'll give you all the details of the property. Sometimes it takes, let me just. Here we are. My apologies. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we are. So this was the property that we want to take a look at and see so we can start, comparing it to the other one. I like to write things down too. It makes it more simpler for me. So however it works for you, so you could compare it to the numbers we pulled up there, right? More information on the property. First thing, you always want to make sure, the name matches. So public record will have all the information, who the property is. This one is my house, so I just made it simple and used this one. The owner's name, You get to know about. So this is where you get to learn all about the property. I'm sure majority of you know how to do that. So public record would be the best. Sometimes, if it's missing, you can go into more details and tap on the other ones as well. So basically, for public record, we'll compare the most important things whenever we're doing a CMA is, let's go ahead. Let me just go ahead and pull that one up here. So the rooms makes a difference in the price, square footage. Make sure that you're looking at makes the year built makes a difference, and the lot size. So these are the couple of factors that you'll be comparing when you're doing a CMA for the other homes. So we give them a right number or come up with a price that works best for the house, and go from there. So those are the highlighted information that I would always keep in mind is the square footage, the built, the year built, the room size, and the lot size. Of course, as every property is unique, it depends. If you're doing townhouses, it's going to be a different situation where majority will be easier. The more the land is, it becomes a bit different, So the lot size makes a huge difference whenever we're doing a CMA, depending on the house. Those are a couple of things we got to keep in mind whenever we're doing a CMA. Let's see, here we are. Okay. So I have that information, right? Trying to comparatively find. So these are the room sizes, the rooms that we are going to look into, right? So detached is very important. So we would compare like that, choose what's closest to the property that you're researching, size-wise, year-wise. This is in a community that I'm familiar with it. So the year built is majority is the same. So price, as you see, is a very significant difference in it. So what you look into comparatively is the land size, for instance, right? The rooms that this one has 7, the bathrooms, that's why you see the price in there for that. So you're going to look into these and try to get it closest to what your property is. If you have a general idea, of course, whenever you meet a client for the first time over a phone, just have that general conversation, how many rooms, any updates they've had, the year built. Real built, you can get it from basically from public records, but as much as you know about it, the better, the closer you'll come to the number and the better information you'll be able to provide your client. That has been my experience. So call a property that has a pool, a property that has it's fenced in deck. So there are a couple of things that you want to find out, because when you start looking at the compared properties, you would like to know, what is the other one looking like compared to yours. So updated kitchen, updated appliances. Again, of course, every property is different. Every property has its uniqueness. It's just what works for you and the closest number you can get them. And of course, in the meanwhile, always have your client to see what is the number they have in mind too. So you can have that set in the back of your mind when you're doing a CMA. To me, that is important. Reason being, I wanted to see what their expectations and how close we can get to that as well. So basically, this will give you an idea of the back. Yeah. So this one doesn't have a deck. It seems like it's fenced in. Yeah, most likely. So these are the couple things we have to keep in mind whenever we are doing a CMA, or so we could give them the best number that is out there. And of course, we have to look at the market too. Another thing that I would I'm always looking at, depending how the trend of the market right now. See, if you look into homes that when it closed, for instance, this one, let's pick up on this one. Another important thing is when this property closed, right? So May market is very different from now. So we just have to keep a couple of things in mind also, how the market is at the moment. That is something. And when you have that conversation with your client, you have that in, you bring it up so they're aware of it too. I'm going through this. It seems like, I'm jumping from here to there. But again, whenever we do a CMA, it's for us to find out about the property and then we can share with our client, make it a bit simple for them, which I will show you, how we'll do that. So it's easier for them to get it as well. So for instance, closer to this property, I would just go with, closest to this one. Here we go. Choose Eagle. This is very close, about 0.1. So we'll choose the properties. I'm just giving you a general idea, and then you can go in details of the properties and, of course, choose. For instance, this is just what I'm throwing out here. But so the closest to this property at the moment, after we looked at everything, between 7 and 5, the distance-wise, size-wise. For instance, we just pick a couple of these ones, right? Just this is what is on the market right now. This is what closed at. So you pick the ones that are closest to your property. Of course, I have to go in very detail, but I just want you to see that you pick the closest one, and if you go through them and see if it's what your property or the subject property is like, and then start preparing the CMA. So for instance, if you pick these 5 and you think these are the ones that are closest to your property, of course, check it out, get your information, get all the information that you need. And then from there, you go to, preparing the CMA. Once you click on it, you do create an account, very simple. If it's your first time meeting them, of course, you would have to have that information in. I'll be using myself as a subject, so I already have my information. So but if not, you can just add it and save it. Once you are saved there, your information will be there every time you send them anything, or whomever your client is will appear right up here. You click their name. So we have the name pulled up. Let's go to the next part, which is pages. So this is where I was, we talked about where make it as simple as possible. As you see, cover page is very important. That has all your information on it, and something about you, a bio about you would be in the cover page. Subject to me is always very important. Of course, the subject, the property, some comparable, that's very important. These are all the properties that we pulled up, some information on that. You're welcome to do the additional pages. This sometimes to me it becomes a bit more confusing for my clients, so I don't use this, but you're welcome to do that anytime. For instance, we added, you can always subtract it here too. You can go ahead and take it out. You can add however you like. You're welcome to do that. So you can take, you can go in and deduct it from it. You can undo it. It's all up to you. Let me see how clear this one. Okay, you can clear it by going down if you want to clear it. But these are the ones that I usually do as the cover page, subject, and the comparable subject. And map is also very important. I think to me, whenever I work with my clients, it makes it a little bit easier for them to take a look at. But this is all to what works for you, how you want to present it to your clients. It's all in here. I would definitely suggest to practice 1 or 2 and see what works for you. You can play around with this and see what works for you, makes it easier. The more you know about it, the better it is to explain to your clients. I think that's how, when you first start, majority you have been doing it, but if you first start, I will say at least practice once or twice before you go out and meet your client. Obviously, you will be printing this. Printing is the best way. I've had chance where I just pull up my laptop at that minute and try to show it my clients and then email it to them, but printing to me always helps as well. So here we go. We're going to put information on our subject line, the subject property. So we would like to, fill that in and have the subject information in there. And then you go to our cover page. This is where you can add the picture of the house, kind of make it more personalized for them. Anything you want to do, add more information here, welcome to do. You'll be able to see the comparables. The comparables property we picked up just in case. Here they are, and you go from there. Then maps will give you that. So how far they are, the details. This is what your client will see when you print the CMA or you email them. If you want to do any adjustments, you are welcome to do it over here. This will give you a chance to do any adjustments. So the pricing, after picking our properties, this is what the final look will look finish once. So you have two choices. You can view it prior to, view it prior to emailing them, or just go straight to email. I know I didn't add any pictures or anything, but just as when we go in the depth of it, it takes a little time to do it, but this is just kind of giving you an overall view of a CMA. It takes some time. It's taking its time thinking. A lot of information, I guess, out there. Okay, here we are. Anything we have added would come up here. If you would have added more subject property details, it would come up here, So a little bit. This is how it's going to look So you can compare the property. This would be your subject property. So if we had added our subject property, it would come here, it'd be right there, and then you would be able to see the properties next to it. I think it's easier this way. To me, you can compare it easily. So this is how a CMA would look. Some more detailed summary and comparable properties that are in the area. It goes in the depth of information. So the subject property, if we would have added, it would come right up here. Some more details on it. So here we are with that. Yeah, go. So now you could go ahead and print it, email it, and email is very simple, just like we email any of the information to our client. Go ahead, add your subject, a short couple of lines for the, detail about this, and just send. And here is as simple as that. It seems a bit complicated when, you're listening to it. That's what I have had experience, but when you start playing around with it and working with it, it becomes very simple. Another thing I wanted to share with you is, this is one way of doing a CMA. Another one that if you wanted, for instance, we want to do the same property here. We have a property, right? How we could use the maps up here. So we'll go ahead and, for instance, let's go back to half a mile, get the maps. Put that project, here we go. So there's the subject property, and then this is giving us the half a mile radius. You can increase or decrease this by, you could change it here. You can add driving time from the property and see if a client is interested in driving 15 minutes from the property when you're searching it, or you could, you can draw a radius. You are welcome to do rectangle, however that works for you. But this is most of the time I use the distance. Again, it depends on the property. If it's a townhouse, you might not need this, you can make it smaller than that. So you can do all the adjustments, anything you like, you could do that. Now here we are. There's one thing I wanted to share with you. Again, you could a lot of the times this is very helpful because you can see you can click on here and you'll be able to see the property as well, more details. Looking at it, a quick look. Same, here we go. So this is another way of looking at it. Another thing I wanted to share, we have clients that ask us for specific schoolings, or most of the time that's what I get. My son or my daughter wants to go to this high school. Could you please send me homes that are closer to this, boundary lines, I would say. So that is something called, here we go, let's go back to search. It's called layering, that I most recently learned, and it was very helpful, especially with when you're trying to talk to a client who is not in the area and he or she they want to be in a specific school zoning. So let's see if I'm good at it now. I've practiced on it a couple of times. It worked for one of my clients. Let's go back to, for instance, here we are. Maps, and then I put school. So we want my daughter to go to okay. There was something I wanted to, here we go. Go to high school. Okay, so simple, you put the this is the school that I put in there. This is where layering comes in. And this, hold just a second, my apologies. This is the boundaries you can go for instance, the high school. Me just go ahead in high school. Why is not, sorry. Like I said, I just learned this new trick, so bear with me just a second. Okay. Let's go back to boundaries.
Aisha, are you trying to layer out the different high school boundaries?
Yes, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah, you had it right. Just click high school. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's the. But I won't. The only thing is, it's not. Because it's not my laptop, my computer. So you know how it's not. This is not clearing up. That's the only thing I'm trying to.
Just click that layers button again. It'll remove.
That's what. Okay, thank you, Nabil. I appreciate it. Okay, so here we are. Oh my God. So here we are. This is how the boundaries are. You'll be able to see, and then you can choose this and share this with your client. These are the homes that come in that school boundary. Makes life a little bit easier. You can do the layering with boundaries. As you click on it, you could do the zip. Other things in the if you want to do a specific neighborhood, different type of schools, middle school, so it'll be very helpful. Thank you, Nabil, I really appreciate it. Here we are. So back to keep on, we are. Okay, so here we are. Any questions you all may have? I mean, sorry, I just played it by how it came. I wasn't using a different computer. It took me off a bit, but my apologies. Any questions you guys may have?
I just popped on maybe like 15 minutes ago. Did you share how they can add additional fields if there's anything else specific that they want to search for?
Oh, absolutely. No, I didn't actually. That's amazing. Yes, Nabil, thank you so much for pointing that out. I really appreciate it. So additional fields, absolutely. We could do that. Here we are. So you can always, of course, you can customize it to yours. Let me just go ahead. For instance, we are looking Woodbridge. Let's go. It's very helpful. And let's kind of make it a little bit more smaller. So 400 to 5. Okay, here we are. So these are the results. 170 homes. That's a lot of homes. Here we go. Okay, so if you want to customize, right, your fields, you want to add, you can, the best, like add square footage to it, right? Or take it out. So you just left click on here. If I'm not wrong, yeah, here we go. So right click, and then you could insert columns or remove columns. You could add square footage to it, rooms, here, these are all the options that you can add. The age, so for instance, let's do age, right? So you'll be able to see, I think the screen is a little bit, I think it's more to the age should be coming. Can you guys see it on your end? Okay. Let's see. Let me go ahead and left click. Give me 1 second. My apologies. Okay, remove, insert a column. I wanted to add square footage, right? We should be able to see it here. There we go. So we are able to add the square footage to it. So you could compare not only the room sizes, but you could also add the square footage. I think one of the most important things are always is square footage. Besides, you can take the fields out, or you can just by clicking up here, remove columns or insert columns. This is definitely a very helpful tool. Thank you, Nabil. I really appreciate it. I had it on my notes, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it.
So one couple other things real quick. If you share with them, sorry, go back to the results page. If you remove off of search. No, leave it there. Yeah. On I don't know if you know this one. I just learned this not too long ago. If you hit the settings gear next to the underneath results. If you hit the gear icon underneath results. Nope. You scrolled way too far down. You have criteria map results.
Criteria I have here. Stats. Is that what you're talking about?
No. You see criteria map results. You're already in the results field. Underneath results is a notepad with a pencil and a gear icon, the settings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when we are initially looking at for properties, that what you're...
No. Scroll up, all the way up. Okay, you see where it says criteria?
I got right there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, underneath results, if you hit settings, the gear icon, right, click that. You can actually save the current display. So there's a specific way that you guys want to see your results. For me personally, when I have mine, I have total square footage, total finished square footage, above grade, below grade. I've also added in the legal subdivision. And I think I've also added tax assessed value and a couple other fields. So I have it saved that way on how I want it. You can save multiple different field entries. So when you actually go to, I show where it says agent one line. Can you click on that, please?
Yeah.
So there will be multiple agent one lines, and you can title them however you want to title. As there, it says appraiser one line. So you can title them how you want to title them to have different search fields based on what you're searching, who you're searching for, because sometimes you don't need all those categories. Sometimes you don't need all those fields.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
So that's how you would save that feature. So that way your layout looks how it does the way that you want it. Because if you go back in and you search something else in the next day, it'll automatically default to how you have it before. But if you save that view, that way you don't have to keep going back in and entering in all these other different data points.
Makes sense. Oh, that's great. That's something that I wasn't familiar with. Okay, that's perfect. You can save your searches for sure. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Nabil. Appreciate it, sir. How's everybody doing? Any questions? Anything you want to know? We have Nabil here as well with me. So anything that you guys want to know or are you curious about? One thing I would like to share, it has helped me a lot, and I learned later on, I'm sure it's very simple, but a few of our agents, we overlook it is, for instance, especially for rentals, we're looking, let's go ahead and put 22191. We're looking at the zip code, and here, this is where, I always had, a tough time, so this will make a difference. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but it took me a while to find that out. When you click this, you could just put for instance, right, 2000 to 4000. Make it easier. You can see the result. Whereas if you have this on for rental, you'll have no results. Hope that's making sense there. All righty. Any questions? Awesome. Either I did really good or really bad. No questions. But how about you? You're here in person. Thank you for joining us. Any questions you may have? Anything you're curious about? Again, with Bright MLS, please do check out. They do have, videos. They have educational videos. They have support. There's so much that you could even just learn here from just clicking on these videos. Anything you're specifically looking for. They have like live classes as well, live coaching. They have live coaching. That's what I took when I started first because I started in COVID. So. You have the customer service, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to reach out to the customer service. They're very helpful. And anything else? It's right up here. All right. Okay. Well, thank you guys for all joining. As we say, we live and learn. We are students of life. I learn every day. I'm sure all of you guys learn every day, not only from work, but life. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it, all of you joining us. Feel free, if you have any questions, feel free to text me, call me. You have your support up there. Reach out to that and go from there. But thank you again for joining. See you at next time.